Make some noise for your Guerrilla Press hosts, EJ, Cameron, and Nick Hausman.
Everybody, it's Nick Hausman.
And it's EJ Cameron. Welcome back.
Welcome to Guerrilla Press, everybody. Now, typically on Mondays, we would be dropping the live or the video and the audio from our live podcast we're taping at the Annoyance Theater on Sunday nights.
But as everybody in the country except for Miami found out, there was a cold snap, a winter storm, if you will.
Yes. I think it is called a winter storm. That's how it's. That's the alert I got. That's the alert I got on my phone. We have a winter storm here in Chicago. So the Annoyance Theater closed down all yesterday out of an abundance of safety, obviously, right? Nobody should die going to see Chicago comedy.
Yeah, like we're great, but we're not die-worthy yet.
No. There's enough death in the world. We don't need it because of that.
Yeah, we don't
right?
need to add on another death from ICE.
Well, buddy, we are just getting going. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to do what we're calling a Snow Day special. So Guerrilla Press, we have a brand new office here. I won't say the address, but we're in Uptown.
Mm-hmm. We're in Uptown in a really nice area, and that's what we'll tell you until you're invited.
Until you're invited to the studio, all you need to know is we're in Uptown, and this is our first recording here in the space. Now, we didn't anticipate doing this quite so soon.
No, this was a setup for the future, but you know what? What better time than now?
What better time than now?
I'm happy that we have it set up. I'm actually excited about this. This looks really cool.
Yeah, we walked in here this morning. We busted out all of our equipment, and this right here is our set for today. It's very nice. We have this flag.
Mm-hmm. We have our Guerrilla Press flag. We have a lovely grenade.
It's non-active. It's non-active grenade, and of course, a cup of coffee here to get things going. Over time, as you go along for the ride with us at Guerrilla Press, this space is going to be upgraded. But every Sunday night, we do our live podcast recording of our flagship show at the Annoyance Theater. Last night, we were supposed to welcome some legends.
Yes, legendary Jeffrey Bayer.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
So if you're not from the Chicagoland area, Jeffrey Bayer is like the face of Chicago's PBS station, WTTW. He goes out. He's interviewed everybody at every major institution in Chicago, and he was going to come talk to us about his own personal experiences in the Chicago comedy scene.
Which we found out talking to him, he has a history doing improv, which I feel like damn near everybody in Chicago does. Speaking of improv, we were going to have, I call him the Improv Yoda.
Oh, sure.
Mick Napier was going to join us for that show.
Yeah, he does. His ears are smaller than Yoda's, but the rest of his body is very Yoda-esque, and so I think that's a very appropriate way to describe Mick.
Absolutely. They both do magic.
Yeah, he made me one time stand on a rock balancing other rocks while, Skywalker training, but neither here nor there. I don't really know. I thought I was going somewhere with that, but I really had nothing.
I know, you lured me in. I was like, go on.
You made eye contact with me, and I was like, I have no bit here.
Just move on.
I have nothing here. So we didn't get to do that because of the snow, but Jeffrey and Mick, both very understanding, obviously, the situation. We're going to reschedule them. We're going to bring them back here in the spring for another show. We'll do it again. And, of course, this Sunday, we'll plug it again at the end of the show. Come on back to the Annoyance Theater. We're going to have a very political show, which we'll talk about our last very political show from last Sunday here in a second. But we're going to have 44th Ward Alderman Bennett Lawson, and we're going to have folk singer Ross Berman this Sunday at the Annoyance. So come on back out. We'll do another live podcast recording. We'll get back in the swing of things, right?
Yeah, come on down and hang out with us. We miss y'all.
Yeah, we had a great time. So, as we are talking about that, EJ, before we get into, we're going to talk about Minneapolis. We're going to talk about a lot of other, we have some jokes that we wrote
for the show yesterday, and you know what? We'd be remiss if we didn't do them.
Yeah, so later in this particular recording, we'll do some jokes. We'll talk about the news. But we want to take a moment to just kind of reflect on our debut show at the Annoyance. First of all, it was once again a snowstorm. We had a Bears game. All odds against us. We were told earlier in the week we had a light ticket sale count.
Yeah.
And against all odds, you all came out and helped us pack that place, came out to have a fun night, watch some football, hear from Kat, hear some jokes. And, I mean, you do a lot of shows, EJ.
I was just saying, I was like, it was awesome. No, seriously, we talked about this before. It's so hard, especially in Chicago, doing comedy or any sort of show in January on a Sunday, going against all these elements and Super Bowl award shows. And we packed the house. People were there. Everybody was having fun. The energy, the love was there. We felt so full afterwards. And I hope that we continue that full feeling.
Yeah, 100%. So it was a great vibe, and it was great too because like the whole ethos of this project has been we wanted to create a place on Sunday nights at the Annoyance for people to come together, not just laugh, but hear from influencers or influential people like Kat. And in the lobby, we had Indivisible Chicago Northwest, and we're going to continue our relationship with them and some other organizations, which we'll have hopefully some press releases, knock on wood, this week about. But it was also great to see people before the show, after the show, filling out postcards.
Yeah, my girlfriend Lauren loved that. She was like, that was amazing. She loves writing postcards.
Yeah.
She was like, I will do that every week.
So my wife, Liz, hi Liz, she was on Cloud 9. This was totally her vibe.
Mm-hmm.
She found out that they had stickers. They had stickers for everybody, and she went in full like elementary school teacher mode. And if you filled out a postcard, Liz was coming around and she was giving you stickers.
Boom.
You know?
And that's community building.
Yeah.
You know, you need a sticker giver.
Yeah, she's the sticker giver, that's for sure. And so that's the stick I give her. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway.
I know. I was like, because you were doing this with your hands, and I was like, I don't know what that is. I'm not going to address it. And you went to sticker giver.
Okay. This is going really well. So everybody had a good time in the lobby, right? We're getting civically active, exactly the vibe we're hoping for. And then during the show, you know, obviously we're hilarious.
Yeah. Duh.
Jokes crush. We'll get some more jokes in just a second. But the conversation with Kat, you know, I've been doing pro wrestling interviews for over a decade.
Yeah. Yeah,
right?
There was less testosterone in this one.
Well, honestly, I don't know about that because Kat's pretty fired up.
Oh, she definitely has an edge.
She definitely has an edge.
And love it.
Oh, yeah. And, well, the thing is we got really lucky with Kat because, yeah, I've been doing pro wrestling interviews. You fall into a kind of a cadence. Mm-hmm. There's like 8 things you talk about in pro wrestling to every person, and then it's like whatever.
Yeah.
I hadn't really had a chance to I talked to Andrew Yang once a couple years ago. I'd done a couple other kind of high-profile things, but never really just like the focus of just having a general political conversation with somebody who's really engaged. And we got really lucky with Kat. She has a huge following.
Yes.
So the crowd was
already there and like rooting for her, and found out she did comedy.
Then we did. Yes, go ahead. Yes, sorry. Yep.
So no, sorry, neither. Yeah,
We found out she does comedy, and. Of course she's going to be great responses, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I bring up my pro wrestling background, which, by the way, if you're watching this and you have no idea what I'm talking about, just Google my name, Nick Hausman, and pro wrestling. You'll find out. We find out she's a pro wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Which I feel like everybody is to a small degree, to some form of degree. It's like a spectrum scale of like, where do you land on your wrestling fandom?
I don't want to be disrespectful of a potential congressperson, but she is an absolute mark for professional wrestling. This is not a casual fan. This is somebody who's like telling me about, I don't want to name names, but influential pro wrestlers she's friends with, and she's in it, right?
Super, super in it. You know what else she's into? She wants to come back.
Yeah, she wants to come back. She had a great time. And, well, when we had her there, too, like, the comedy and the pro wrestling stuff, what I enjoyed about it was the substantive conversations we got to have about what's going on right now.
Yes.
Right? So, a couple of the things we got into with Kat, obviously what's going on in Minneapolis. We'll talk about that here in just a second. What people can do to stand up and fight back.
Yes.
Right? We talked a lot about the DOJ. She'd personally been indicted.
Yeah, so she could say but so much, but she still said something.
Yeah. She said a little bit about that. But the ICE stuff and really kind of getting the room, you could feel the energy of the room when we were talking about the presence of ICE, the presence of DHS. It's become, as anyone who lives in the Midwest knows, Chicago, Minneapolis, I mean, it's a looming specter here, EJ.
Yeah, we've had a stint already with them, and with this like uprise again, you can't help but to feel it's going to be a bad sequel coming back to us with how they've been behaving and everything that, you know, ICE is just being monsters, and they're specifically aiming for us blue states. So Chicago is just like, all right, what are we about to do?
Well, that's the thing is that's the thing that I think makes me the most upset is because we're both from the South.
Mm-hmm.
Is Texas more south than Georgia, or is Georgia more south than Texas?
Geographically?
I mean, I think I was thinking tonally, but yes.
Tonally. That's an interesting, there's like a big debate about that where people consider Georgia like the dirty South and they're like, Texas doesn't count, but Texas people are like, we are the South. And we're like, that's a different South.
Yes.
That's like South with corn.
Yeah.
This is a grits South, but then Florida doesn't count? I don't know.
Florida's the South.
I know. It is the most southern state, but people have it is the South. I think they don't count Miami.
Okay, because like when people talk about the South, it's usually just kind of like Mississippi, Alabama.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of the Virginias.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
One of them.
maybe one of the Virginias.
One of them. Yeah.
Tennessee gets lumped in. Tennessee, I think, is the South.
Tennessee gets a little bit, and then, anything north of the Mason-Dixon line, no. And then south, but it stops like right at like Mississippi, Alabama area.
Sure.
And then west, like nobody's looking at Southern California and being like the dirty South. It's like, no.
The Carolinas are the South.
Yeah, the Carolinas.
They're the South.
I say California.
Oh, California.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, the Carolinas are definitely the South.
Yeah. Well, in California, so like, here's what bugs me as a Texan, right? So I grew up in the Houston area, and I can tell you that there were a lot of people of different immigration status in Texas because we are right next to the border.
Oh, yeah. And Houston is a great melting pot. Like, a lot of people are moving to Houston.
Yeah, Houston's great. And, you talk about melting pots. I mean, the food.
Yeah, I've heard.
The food scene in Houston is out of control. But, having, like, grown up in these communities, where I knew there were people of different states, never thought about it, didn't really care, right? I know that down south along the border, there's a lot more people that are of these mixed statuses, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that they should be getting treated like we are here in Chicago.
Okay, good. All right. Glad that we clear.
Nobody should be getting treated like we are here in Chicago, or Minneapolis for that matter. But it does seem like these more southern states where there are a lot more people that are of these mixed immigration statuses that are really ingrained in these communities, they're not getting the same kind of hostility that we're getting here in Chicago and Minneapolis at the moment.
Yeah, no, as I was saying earlier, it feels like it's like blue state, like punishment.
Yeah.
Like, how dare you not be on our side? And it's this divisiveness is the problem. Like, just come together, y'all. We're all humans. We're all Americans. We're all working together. Why?
Yeah, well, and on that note, like, it is this thing where it is the blue states being targeted, and they want to make it about immigration, right? They want to say, well, this is about immigration, and it's really not about immigration, right?
No, he said we're going for the thugs and these criminals and gangsters, and you're grabbing like children and parents.
Right.
What are they doing besides existing?
Yes, and that's the thing is it's about coming in here and creating fear, right? They just want people that didn't vote like them to be scared.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's like in World War II when they were turning some areas into ghettos, but it's kind of like World War II when they were turning some areas into ghettos. Before what happened in Minneapolis, right? And we'll definitely talk about it. I feel like I've said that 5 times. But there was in Chicago that night where they went to the apartment complex.
Oh, yes.
Right, on the southwest side. And they said there were violent gang members and drug dealers, and they flew a fucking Black Hawk on top of the building, and they drop them in. Like,
at 1 a.m. when people are sleeping, children are sleeping, getting ready for school, like, people have work in the morning and you're harassing them, pulling them out their apartment in their underwear and like making them sit outside. It's like, why?
Yeah, and they're dropping these people in by ropes. It's like that room in Wayne's World, where they're like, hey, I want to go into a room, and they're always training people like they're for the CIA, right?
Yes.
It's like they open that door and they're like, come on out.
Yeah.
They drop them on the roof. They're kicking down doors. They're running down the hallways. They're dragging people out. And then we go to find out that, like, none of the people that were arrested that night were violent criminals.
No.
Right?
No. They're just there, and their skin color's dark.
Yeah, and so they're coming in here, and they're just creating chaos. And then after that, you have this fucking dipshit, Bavino. Right?
I was like, which one? Which dipshit?
I'd like to focus on dipshit Bavino. He's walking around in this like Nazi jacket. Have you seen the Nazi jacket?
Yes, I've seen him in his stupid fucking long coat. Yes.
Okay. So he comes in with his band of thugs, and they're trashing the South Side and the West Side, and it's fucking abhorrent.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I turn on the TV, and I see him up at Belmont and Sheridan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Right?
at Laugh Factory.
Right up the street from
Right
Laugh
up-
Factory.
yes.
Yeah. And
And
like,
that's right in between where we live.
that's right. Yes. And so I don't want to say, we live in like I live in a little nicer part of town, right? I'm not as concerned about crime in our area as I am other parts of Chicago. So why this man and about 150 fucking ICE thugs are marching up and down Belmont, and they get in front of the Laugh Factory. They start tossing somebody. This manager, Nathan.
Yes.
Right? He's a manager at the Laugh Factory, Comedy Factory. He like tries to help this person who's being assaulted by ICE.
Yeah.
They arrest him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Bullies.
Total bullies. And so the charges against Nathan have been dropped. We got to get him on.
Yes, we do.
Attainable get.
Yeah.
Attainable get. But it's just all like we got the dry run of what's going on in Minneapolis here.
And that's
like
dry.
yeah. It was like no snow yet. Right?
Oh, that in terms like that, yes. But I mean,
yes, I didn't
we
know
hear
how
the
you-
helicopters still flying over our area of town. Like every night, I still hear helicopters.
So Liz, my wife, again,
My wife.
she turned me on to this app where you can track all the flight traffic in your area.
Yeah.
And anybody can download it. It's called like Radar 24 or something like that. And so when I hear the helicopters, I can go on the app. I can find out what kind of helicopter it is and where they're coming from. There's like this executive airport up north where the ICE helicopters go to and from.
Oh, okay.
It is from what I gather, like a private airport that they're like paying to use the services. Like it doesn't seem to me that the ICE helicopters are coming from like Midway or O'Hare.
Yeah.
There's like a station up north. They send them sometimes from military bases, and there seems to be like a port like down on the south side, kind of by the lake that they use as well.
Okay, so you're saying that we need to go down there and take care of them.
If by take care of them you mean peacefully protest, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I always mean.
Yes. And so one day, though, there was like a couple days in a row where there was this Black Hawk that was flying over my house real low. And I'm on like a 10th floor of a condo building, and so I kind of feel it, right?
Yeah.
I go to check the radar, and it's not on the radar.
Yeah.
And so this is where I go full Dale Gribble. And this is where I'm gonna tell a real quick story. So I go full Dale Gribble's the King of the Hill reference.
Yeah, I was gonna say King of the Hill in case.
Yeah,
for you uneducated.
Yeah, because I'm from Texas. And he's a conspiracy theorist. And so I start recording the Black Hawk, like going over my house, like for like 3 days in a row. And I start screenshotting the radar. So I have timestamps to show here's the helicopter, here's it not on the radar. So this helicopter's turning off his transponder. I'm quite positive Bovino or Gnome or somebody's flying over my house every day, which is weird.
Yeah.
And so I'm like so put off by this, I decide to call Dick Durbin's office about it, right?
Yeah.
So I call Dick Durbin's office, and I say there's helicopters with their transponders turned off flying over my house, and I'd like you to do something about it. And I've never felt more like I have a tinfoil hat on in my entire life than like explaining to them my paranoia about the unmarked helicopters.
You're like, I know it's not on the app, but I hear them. They're right outside. No, I please.
And you know what? To be fair, though, like a day after I called it in, they stopped.
So you saved us.
I don't know if I saved us. But they did stop doing the unmarked helicopter.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you did something. And, let's say that helped. That did it.
I would like to say that.
Because it's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, it got to the point where you would text me and be like, hey, there's a helicopter flying right above you. And I'm like, yes, I hear it.
It's so like, yeah, again, this idea that they're trying to make you paranoid. They're trying to make you fearful. They're trying to put you on edge. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and put on a brave face and say they're not getting to me. Clearly it gets to me. It gets to everybody.
It's eating up my brain. Like every morning I wake up and look at the news and it's just bleak. and to the point I said to a friend yesterday, I was like, oh, it's only been a year. Mm-hmm. He's been in office just for a year. This has felt like the longest year of my life.
Yeah, January 20th.
Yeah.
Just a year. So everything's getting worse and doesn't show any signs of getting better. So as we sit here and we're reflecting on like what we've gone through in Chicago, and these are just a couple anecdotes. I mean, they go on and on and on and on, right? Then we start to hear about the Somali fraud going on in Minneapolis, right? And Tim Walz is the governor of Minneapolis.
Yeah.
For those that are unaware, Tim Walz, the vice presidential candidate of Kamala Harris.
Yes.
And look, there is fraud going on with that.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and say there's not, because it was found out. It's being addressed. And they're working through it. Thank you for bringing this to our attention. It's the government. I hate to tell you all this, but the Trumps not handling your tax money correctly every single day. And
that's why I'm like, oh, that's the fraud we're focusing on? That little bit of, all right, cool. True, that is bad. And that's where it feels like on the Democratic side it always lands. It's like, you guys did something bad. And the Democrats are like, you're right. Let's take care of this. By the way, you guys did this too. And it's like, yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
We're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, and I hate seeing that.
Yeah.
You know, because like I don't know Tim Walz personally. I know about as much as everybody else learned about him during the campaign. You know, teacher, hunter, football coach. I will say that I was very moved by many of his former students.
Yeah.
The way they spoke about him, how he was always there to listen, especially, you know, the gay students, right? Members of the LGBTQ community that he spoke with. So at the very least, I feel like a decent man that's going to be put into a position to make hard decisions.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, it's extra hard because he does come off like the nicest gym teacher ever.
Sure.
So that's why I feel like they're picking at him specifically.
They are. Well, that's what they want you to do. So like they come in, they identify the Somali fraud, this other right-wing provocateur who's also named Nick, which I'm personally offended by. Well. I won't say his last name, but his name's Nick. Goes around, he's making all these videos and getting all people ginned up about the Somali fraud and all this. And it's like Pavlovian for Trump. He just starts to drool at the fact that, oh, Tim Walz did something wrong. We're going to pillory this man. We're going to nail him to the cross, right?
Yeah. We're going to make a big deal out of it, just like they did with the Haitians eating the cats and the dogs and rile people up. And then it's also, if I'm not mistaken, Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar. She's freaking Minnesota and stuff, which they actually hate her and want her out.
Well, she's Somali, right?
I know.
And so, like, yeah, she's an A, immigrant, B, woman, C, tangentially associated with Tim Walz. Got a lot going against her.
Yeah.
Not going against her.
Non-APAC, you know.
Non-APAC, yeah, for sure. And so, you know, they focus in here on Tim Walz, and they start to try to make a villain of him.
Yeah.
And obviously the right-wing machine with Fox News and all the other, you know, right-wing media channels, they all take their cues off of Trump. Right. They all take their cues off of Trump, and then they all start to pile on, right? Yeah. Tim Walz becomes a broken man. He is no longer running for governor. He is just so disenfranchised by politics. He's just going to wrap up what he's doing here and then be done.
Yeah. I mean, we can't even forget, it got swept under the news, but there were Minnesota governors that got killed.
Yeah.
And it just moved on it was like a political assassination, and we just moved on from it in the news, and then we had to stick on to, what's his face?
Well, yeah, well, and with Tim Walz, like, the thing, too, is, like, there was a really hateful and, I don't even know how to say it, like, just bad rumor that was spread that Tim Walz had, like, paid for that assassination of his friend.
Yeah.
Which is just, like, crazy train.
Nasty work. Yeah, I heard that, and I was like, what is wrong with people?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, the Republicans, the MAGA, Trump team or whatever, there's no rules for them.
No.
It is just blood sport. It is just grab and kill, right?
Yeah.
And again, you're right, because the Republicans, they all pick a target and they all move in the same direction. Democrats, to their, you know, I'm a Democrat. It is easy sometimes for people to say, well, let's have a discussion about it.
Yeah.
Why do we have to just, like, move, why can't we stop and talk and think about it, right?
Yeah, and it's like, sometimes you gotta unify and move forward together too.
Right. And so Tim Walz is a broken shell of himself, leaving politics. Very sad. And again, another decent human being who's trying to step up and do the right thing has been chewed up and spit out.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure getting into politics, you kind of start seeing how the machine is and how nasty it gets. So.
Yeah. Back to my pro wrestling background, as someone who was just a fan as a kid, I loved pro wrestling. And then I got invited to be part of pro wrestling by Cabana and the Chicago pro wrestling scene. I did that for many years. And then when I moved into the journalism side and I had to start asking really hard questions about the industry, and you start to figure out how the sausage is really made. Yeah. And we'll have a long conversation here pretty soon about pro wrestling, everybody. It's disturbing,
Yeah. Yeah. It's the equivalent of what they say when you work at Disney World. It's the happiest place on earth until you work there and you see what all goes on behind the scenes to make shit happen. And it's like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah.
This is bad.
You don't want heat with Cinderella.
she'll you get a glass shoe up that ass.
Yeah. Exactly, right? Crack the shoe and use it as a syringe.
Oh, shit.
It's bad. And so Cinderella, infamously a sex trafficker, allegedly.
Yeah.
Sex
And that
trafficker.
pumpkin.
I'm sure that's going to go well with Disney. And so so anyway, I completely forgot where we were at. So Tim Walz, good man, driven off. We've lost another good one. And in the midst of all of this kind of rage cycle that's being fomented about Minneapolis and Tim Walz, Trump says, how do we exacerbate this situation even more? Let's flood this city that is already embroiled in negative media attention, is trying to find its footing. Rather than trying to help them figure this situation out, we're going to send militarized goons in to make everybody scared and inflame tensions even more.
Yes,
right?
Untrained militarized goons. These people can't become a real cop. They can't go into the army. They can't pass a test. But yeah, they can wear a fucking gator neck bandana cover and shoot people in the face because immigrants.
Yeah, there's no shortage of reporting you can find about how easy it is to become an ICE officer at the moment.
Yeah, and how much money they're giving them. People are like, oh, I can make a living doing this. The economy's bad. I need a job, and I don't care about people.
I wonder why there are so many young, disenfranchised democratic socialists when you could point specifically to capitalism demoralizing individuals, right?
Yeah.
Take a good man, give him $100,000 to make him a bad man. I've seen it in pro wrestling too. So
it all ties in.
Well, and to put a finer point on that, I often say, because in pro wrestling, you have a lot of people that come from nothing.
Yes.
You have a lot of people who grew up watching TV, and they see pro wrestling as a way out of their situation, right? And so they'll go out, they'll almost break their neck on the indies, and they will do whatever it takes to get that contract where they can be making that money, they can get that clout. And then when they have it and they get there, what will they do to keep it?
Exactly. Which, yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah. There's so many industries where that happens. I mean, look at how many predatory practices are happening in Hollywood, the music industry. Everybody knows it's bad, but that Diddy guy's going to give me a bunch of money and he's kind of the hottest producer right now, so I'll turn a blind eye.
Right.
Or if I say something, I'm going to be ousted and now I can't pay my bills after I finally broke through this glass ceiling and now I'm pushed out.
Correct. And it's a bigger problem, you're right, across multiple industries because of the economic disparity in America. You have people that have far more and people that have far less than we've had in generations in the past. And so across the board, you're going to find people that don't have much that are going to become dependent on people who have too much.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Which, that's trickle-down economics. It was supposed to work out, right?
Yes. And when you actually really kind of sit there and think about that, the whole immigration effort starts to make more sense because they want everyone angry at immigrants or people that are stepping up to save immigrants, because the problem here is clearly billionaires. Yeah.
Yeah, it's that cartoon I always see. It's like a billionaire eating a bunch of cookies and saying, you don't have a cookie because he's trying to take it, and pointing at an immigrant. And that's the story as old as this friggin' country.
Yeah.
It's blame somebody else because you can't get work. Sorry, white man, you don't have a job because the Irish and Chinese just came into town.
Back when you could blame a white guy.
Yeah. But isn't that crazy? Yeah. Nick, I want you to know how crazy that was when I was in school and I learned that America had beef with the Irish. And I said, but they're white. I was like, even that was too much, and people had to change their names, so you can't really like know that you're McDougal. You have to just be the Dukes or whatever the fuck their name changed at Ellis Island. And it's just been like, they've been doing that for so long and just like pitting everybody against. It's like, I'm going to pay you less because I'm paying them less. And these poor immigrants come here for the hope and the dream, and then they get taken advantage of.
Right.
Like, I talk to my family. I come from immigrants. My parents are from the Caribbean. My dad's from Jamaica. My mom's from Trinidad. And I talk to them about that all the time. I'm like, why did you come here? We could have been on a beach somewhere eating, like, really good food. And they were like, TV propaganda taught us that we could make something of ourselves in America. And my dad was like, I came here. Everybody was living on top of each other in an apartment. And I thought, this is dirty. I don't like this. I don't have the money to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you know, my family, we're, I think, 4th or 5th generation Germans, shocked, with the Hausman last name. Mm-hmm. We actually went through Ellis Island. My family did. They made us drop an S and an N and an umlaut from our last name.
Oh, yeah?
My last name was far more German before.
Hausman.
And when I think it was Otto Hausman was like the first male on our side to come to the country. He went through New York, and they sent him to Missouri. Him and his family to Missouri, back when you would just like, we were like, oh, we need to develop this part of the country. We need more people in this part of the country, which, by the way, I think is a conversation to be had about. There's parts of this country we can develop more. There's places these immigrants can go. Yeah. Right? Montana, hello. And so,
but then they have to live in Montana.
But when we got brought to this country, my family, we were butchers. My grandfather was, from what I was told, his first job was to put a sledgehammer between the eyeballs of cows all day long and kill cattle. And that's what my family did. And
I come from a family of bakers.
Wonderful. Yeah, we were butchers, and then, you know, we've moved into construction. My grandfather fought in World War II. He was on D-Day. And, you know, my family has had to go through a very interesting ride with this country. Mm-hmm. And it saddens me, especially when I think about my grandfather, who like fought on Normandy Beach for my freedoms to do what we're doing exactly right now. Mm-hmm. And to see the disrespect shown towards that, like, it makes me want to cry right now. It
is awful. Like, I know people have their feelings about the Army and stuff, but I respect like the soldiers that are going out there and putting their life on the line, especially the veterans. I have family that are veterans, and the way we don't as a country take care of them. There's so many homeless vets, and you see them, and it just is heartbreaking. You know, then we'll celebrate 4th of July. They have PTSD, but we're going to light fireworks. And I'm like, that's not that's not helping. What are we doing to help, instead of just chewing up more people to be in the machine, not helping them get adjusted back to the real world? And then we just go, well, thanks for your duty. Bye.
Yeah. There's a lot of Vietnam veterans I think you should talk to.
Yeah.
That's kind of their whole thing.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, especially the black ones. I know a lot about how black people were treated after the Vietnam War when they came back.
So yeah, when we think about why our families came to this country, what the goals and the expectations were, better quality of life, willing to, in my family's case, shed blood, put their life. I mean, if he'd have died on D-Day, I wouldn't even be here right now, right?
Yeah.
You know, it hurts me to see where things are right now, and just to see this like arrogant, petulant Nepo baby fucking everything up for everybody.
Yeah.
That's really what he is, right?
Totally.
I'm talking about Trump.
Yeah, Trump's a big fucking Nepo baby that's never done anything of importance. He's a failed businessman. He's terrible. What has he done besides have
rip
a
him
TV
an asshole?
show?
Rip him an asshole.
Let me tell you something.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. Zoom in here. Let me tell you something.
I can't.
No, you zoom in. You walk closer to your camera.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna fuck up the shot. Anyway, go ahead.
You big tie wearing bitch. I can't wait for a reporter.
You can pick up the microphone and go talk to the kid if you want.
I'm scared to put it back. You saw the first show. You saw the first show putting the mic back in the stand. We would be here for 20 minutes.
Great.
But it's the fucking like, you lost me. I lost it.
Promo. I'm just telling you, cut a promo.
Oh, I'm ready for a news reporter when he's like, oh, where are you from? ABC? You're a stupid news reporter. I would look at him and be like, hey, you a dumb bitch too. You a big dumb bitch. How about that? Give him his energy back. See what happens.
Yeah. Fuck him.
But I'm crazy. I don't know.
He's an asshole. You're not crazy. You're completely sane, and you're saying all the right things, EJ.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So with all this in mind, as a backdrop, let's talk a little bit about Minneapolis finally here. So Minneapolis, after all of the ginning up of hatred about the fraud and making Tim Walz and Ilhan Omar and the rest of the politicians, Jacob Fry, right, who's the mayor of Minneapolis, making all these people evil people in the eyes of the Republican Party, then the real violence began, right?
Yes.
So Renee Good was the first big crack in the dam of Minneapolis. She was an ICE watch person, loving mother, wife. And we've all seen the video. We don't need to recap it here, right? She's in the car, tries to leave. They get in front of her. This guy shoots her 3 times in the head. Yeah. This ICE officer shoots her 3 times in the head.
They don't allow doctors or anybody on site to help, and they just let her die.
Yeah. And horrifying.
Yeah.
Horrifying, right?
Yeah.
And, we talked a little bit about this off the air, but, like, obviously for white people to see something like this, it's like they're like, oh, this is really bad, right?
It could happen to us too. Black people are like, we told y'all in 2016.
Yeah. And that's the thing is right now you are seeing more white people on the front line protesting because there is this idea that if you have privilege, this is the time to speak up.
Yes.
And so we're trying to weaponize white privilege, and it is putting people in harm's way unnecessarily. And this woman, Renee Good, is now dead. Yeah. Horrifying.
Yeah, that was watching that. And it's the watching the videos. I know we have to record it so we can prove what's happening because Chrissy Nome will get up there and say, oh, he almost got hit by a car and he had to go. He had internal injuries and nothing touched that man. He was fine. Yeah. The fact that you can kill somebody like that and go on about your day is the sick part. Right. Like the sickest part to me. It's like you have no sort of like soul or humanity. That's it. $100,000. That's all it takes for you to be a piece of shit.
Murderer. Not even a piece of shit. Makes you a justified murderer.
A justified murderer, and then you get to go home to your fucking family because this woman happened to be in your way.
The worst part about this for me, there's like so many. I mean, obviously the worst part is that this woman passed away, but like. This officer, one of the first things that they started saying was he was involved in another incident a couple months before where he got pulled by a car, and of course he's going to be a little trigger happy if that happens again. Let me make it very, very clear. If you are traumatized and you are in a position where you cannot make clear-headed decisions in the field because of that trauma, you should not be out in the fucking field, right?
No, take your ass to CVS and work the register. Yeah. Get a job anywhere else. If that happened to me, I wouldn't want to go back out there and do that.
Well, and to be fair, it's like he doesn't even need to go to CVS. He should be getting therapy and paid time off and an appropriate amount of oversight where a person can say this man has worked through his issue and is ready to return to the field. You can keep him on paid leave. While he's working through this horrible thing that happens all the time in Chicago, people get shot at or people have to witness a horrible accident that happens with CTA or not even the L train drivers. If you're an L train driver, somebody jumps in front of your train and you just killed somebody. Yeah. That CTA driver is then required to go to therapy to discuss the situation and then be cleared to return to the job if they do get cleared and are capable of doing the job again.
Yeah, Nick, but here's the thing. If they went to therapy, they probably wouldn't be ICE agents. That's true. If they went to therapy in the first place, they would know what's the cause of their anger and they could figure that out and know that it's not immigrants.
Again, as a German, I look back and I just, there's so many people that got swept up in Nazism, and it just was like, well, this is just what's going on, and I just am warning everybody right now who's in ICE or DHS, Do not become a Nazi footnote like many of, unfortunately, my ancestors. And so, as someone, I mean, again, it's like, you're German. I tell people my last name, and they're like, there's like always this kind of like Nazi connotation, and like you have to live with that. And it's like, well, if my relatives had not been fucking murderous pieces of shit, and not even my relatives, I'm just saying descendants, ancestors. I don't know that my family has any Nazi ties. It's like you're ruining this for so many. Like, you obviously ruin it for the people you're hurting, but you're ruining it for yourself. You're ruining it for your family. You're ruining it for the country. Like the layers, the fucked up onion of ruining it is there, right?
Yeah. Well, I would say the Germans are good about acknowledging the ugly. Like
now?
but now, well, yes, now. In the 40s, I don't know. But now they acknowledge it, and they're like teaching, this is bad, this is ugly, this is why we should not ever do that again. And America is like, we're all good. We don't need to talk about anything that happened in the past. Let's keep it pushing. And it's like, no, we need to look at our ugly, our scars, and work on it and fix it.
Well, and when you talk about like controlling the flow of information from history, that was a big part of Nazism.
Yeah.
It is when they came in and they started telling people what they couldn't study, what books the book burnings, the big book burnings.
Yep.
You can't learn this information. We're only going to educate you a certain way. We're going to teach you to hate a certain way. Like, all of this stuff is playing out right now in real time.
Oh, yeah.
So after Renee Good, the next big kind of thing that caught national headlines was this 5-year-old boy, Liam Ramos, who gets, again, we'll kind of do the 30,000-foot view here of this story. His father is going through the asylum process, which, again, legal.
Yes.
Legal immigration.
Totally legal, doing it how you should be doing it.
The ICE shows up to arrest his father in the car, and the kid's in the car, and they grab the kid, and then they try to get the kid to go knock at his front door to lure the rest of his family out of the house, which is like
sick.
I don't know what else to say.
Sick.
Very, very bad.
You're sick.
Very, very bad. And then that doesn't work. They take the kid back, and we've heard different versions. I haven't heard from this kid and this dad, so I don't really know what the truth is in these situations. It's like, did they get kept together and go to a detention facility? And even if they did, do you have a 5-year-old laying on the ground in like a silver emergency blanket on concrete, right?
With his cute hat. That's the one thing that's kept standing out to me. It's like he's wearing this like little cute hat.
And you have these families that are terrified. We start hearing about stories in Minneapolis of people hiding in rooms behind bookshelves, just like Anne Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're just cycling back through bullshit.
And of course that brings us to the latest horrible incident a couple days ago. Alex Pretti, who is an ICU nurse and has, from what his family said, felt motivated to get more civically involved because of what he had seen going on with immigrants. He's a very empathetic person.
Yeah.
And he goes out there, and in this video, the Renee Good situation, what was upsetting was that there was like a case that could be made that maybe she deserved it. She's in a car. She tried to drive over an ICE agent. Maybe she deserved it. And I think it's a very disingenuous case to make.
Yeah, I don't think anybody deserves to get shot in the face.
Well, and as it's been brought up by Jake Tapper, who I can't believe I'm quoting after his fucking butchery of Joe Biden after the fact, he was the one who confronted Kristi Noem on TV and said, I'd like to show you video of police officers in duress, not shooting at the people putting them in duress. And, of course, he pulls up footage of January 6th and shows officers being stuck in door frames, being hit by flagpoles. And by the Republicans' own logic, those police officers should have pulled out an AK and mowed down the fucking 100,000 people that were attempting to murder them on January 6th, right?
Yeah. I remember watching and I said, oh, white people can do that too?
Dude.
How amazing is that? And everybody said that. They were like, if it was any other group of people, it would have been a massacre for the history books.
Yeah, and just before January 6th happened, I had to take a pause from TV to interview Candace Michelle, former Playboy model and WWE superstar. And then I finished my interview with Candace Michelle, turned the TV back on, and saw people like crawling over the White House.
It's like, huh.
Yeah. What a weird world. What a weird life I live.
Yeah.
You know? So Alex Pretti, again, so Renee Good, people watch it. They make this disingenuous argument that she deserves to be shot.
Mm-hmm.
And, fine. If you're living in a Republican bubble and you're only watching Fox News, then you're probably going to believe that, right?
Yeah, if you don't care about human lives, then sure. Yeah.
Right. You're being fed over and over again. These things are bad. You're being fed this hate. You believe the hate. With the Pretti video, though, I mean, you see this guy. He's clearly videotaping and, like, directing traffic. And these ICE officers come over to, like, push him around. There's, like, a woman with him.
Yeah.
They push her to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He goes to help the woman, and that's when they all mob him.
Yeah. They jump on him and they shot him repeatedly.
Well, and he had a sidearm, right,
Mm-hmm.
which he was legally allowed to carry. I can't believe the NRA is coming to our fucking aid here. Can you believe that?
I mean, it took long enough. I think they're like, all right, we got to say something now.
Well, of course, you trample on the gun rights, the NRA will get involved. But he's got a gun on his sidearm. He never brings it out. In the video, you can pretty clearly see one of the officers get alerted to the fact he has a gun, disarm him, take the gun, walk away with it. At least that's what it looks like. And after he is disarmed, that's with like 6 guys, that's when they shoot and kill him.
Yeah. Yeah. Mob style.
37-year-old, same age as you.
Same age as me.
Same age as a little younger than me. And I sit here and I look at what we're doing. And you were out at a protest yesterday, which we never really got into. We can talk about that here in just a second. And yeah, we are doing the right thing. Alex Pretti was doing the right thing.
Yes.
It is horrifying to think that in this situation right now, I could be murdered for trying to help protect immigrants, and in Alex's case, very specifically, help a woman get to her feet.
Just being there. 6 people standing over him and just unloading their clip. I woke up and that was the first thing that I saw that day.
Awful. Awful, awful, awful. So in the wake of all this...
And also, just want to say rest in peace.
Yeah,
to
of course.
All the people involved and anybody who's been killed and the stories that we don't know that's happening. Sending prayer and love to all those people involved.
Of course. And in the wake of all of this, massive protests.
Yes.
Hundreds of thousands. I mean, it is... We had to cancel our show last night, obviously. And it is because of how bad the weather is. It is negative tens of degrees. And thousands upon thousands of people in Minneapolis turning out. Let's talk a little bit about your experience. I didn't get to go. I was bogged down with some things yesterday, but you actually went to the Indivisible Chicago protest in Chicago. Talk a little bit about your experience.
I went out there. It was cold. It was snowing, something serious. But with that being said, it was a glimmer of hope. I was telling you earlier, of finally feeling some sort of hope being there and like chanting amongst people, and we're like there with each other as a community, freezing our hands off. I saw a lot of families, a lot of children. We had great speakers. They're pushing a national strike. That is what people are talking about doing. I think in Minnesota they had one a few days ago.
They did.
And I just saw possibly there's going to be one on the 30th, this Friday, for a national strike for everybody. But it was the glimmer of hope. But as we were saying about Ted Lasso, the quote, "It's the hope that kills you." We're hoping that this will change. We know that this is not where we want to be as a nation. So we're hoping that if we all stick together and work together, this shit can change. There's more of us, less of them. We have to stand up to this shit. We can't sit back and go, oh, it's not going to come to me. It's coming to our doors. Do something.
Yeah. And protesting is great. Coming to Guerrilla Press on Sunday nights, hanging out with Indivisible. And I don't want to name drop who our next big collaborator will be, but another entity that is very active in this space. It's so great, guys. Like, we know people are scared right now, and they're looking for ways to stay engaged. And it is cold, and it is hard to go out for these protests. And we want to create this kind of intimate one-on-one space where you guys can talk and have a clubhouse to come hang and laugh and tell jokes and feel civically active. So you're always welcome Sunday nights at the Annoyance for us. And on that note, we would like to wrap it up here with some jokes to kind of leave with some brevity.
Yeah.
So we start every show at the Annoyance with some jokes that we've written about the week's news and headlines. So EJ and I have the jokes that we had prepared for a live audience here in front of us. We're going to try to make each other laugh with these jokes that we have already written and know the punchlines to. And if we feel inclined, we'll talk a little bit about the story, and then we'll wrap it up here for our Snow Day podcast.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, great, wonderful. All right, here's first joke.
All right, here's the first one.
All right. Jack Smith testified this week to the House Judiciary Committee regarding his investigation into Donald Trump's alleged conspiracy to overthrow the 2020 election results. His findings? Bitch did it. Made myself laugh.
And you know what? That counts.
But he did. I mean, that's the thing is, why are we still fucking talking about the 2020? He lost. Bitch lost.
The bitch lost.
Bitch lost.
He won't admit it. When he was supposed to get indicted before, and they were like, "Oh, we have to wait," and then he becomes president, and they were like, "Well, we can't do anything now."
When Jack Smith was on the Hill for this, I watched the whole thing. There's a point where Jim Jordan says, "Well, clearly Donald Trump didn't win the 2020 elections, right?" and moved on. And afterwards, the pundits were like, "I don't know, Jim. Maybe you shouldn't have said that. Maybe you're going to be in the doghouse now."
Yeah. God forbid you say the truth. J.D. Vance and his wife Usha announced this week that they are pregnant with their fourth child. Said J.D.'s couch, "Why you cheating on me, baby?" He be fucking couches.
Whatever, you're going to spread bullshit rumors about us?
As he says, more cushion for the pushing.
He fucks couches. He's an asshole. All right. Here we go. What are snowflakes made of? Ice. In Minneapolis news, ICE detained a 5-year-old child and then tried to use them as bait to lure members of their family out of the house. The strategy was conceived by the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein, who somehow still controls the Republican Party.
It's
true.
Nasty man.
It's true.
Nasty
He's gross
man.
and everything. And part of what they do is always to just cover up for that, right?
Yeah, we're still living in the cover up of that. So
great.
Hey,
good.
if you support that side of the party, you like pedophiles. Okay.
Allegedly.
No. The United States officially left the World Health Organization this week. Thank goodness, said Measles.
A new report from the Washington Post claimed that our planet is in a state of water bankruptcy. So you know what that means? We can finally stop flushing.
Leave the solids.
So those two jokes, the reason I read them so quick, written by Joseph, one of our video
Yeah,
guys.
shout out Joseph. Thanks, buddy.
Love that.
Oh, here we go. We did that. Here we go. Reading is fun.
Great.
Donald Trump announced this week that he is suing J.P. Morgan Chase and its CEO, Jamie Dimon, for debanking him following the January 6th insurrection of the U.S. Capitol. Trump was embarrassed when he tried to pay for the damages to the Capitol with his credit card and was told it was declined. Oh. So that's why he'll never pay for what he did.
Oh! That was a bit of a wind-up, but the joke was... I thought the punchline was the best punchline. I thought the punchline was very good because he's not going to pay for what he did because he's a criminal.
Yeah.
After continued online harassment and threats, former GOP presidential candidate and the most naive crypto bro on the planet, Vivek Ramaswamy, has left social media and is distancing himself from the MAGA movement. We are only reporting this because we hope this is the final time we ever have to talk about Vivek Ramaswamy.
Please.
Hate that man. I don't hate Vivek Ramaswamy. I loathe Vivek Ramaswamy because he is just such a snake oil salesman.
Yeah, man, dude, I hate what you've become. Like, this is who you want to be, and this is the party that you want to align yourself with. They don't like you. They don't like your ass. Like, bro, sorry. Not sorry.
Oh, good. Okay, we don't have as many jokes as I thought because we had a scripted bit that we're not going to do.
Oh, yeah. I was like, man, this is Oh, yeah, that is all gone. I mean,
We'll
we got
save
the
it.
green suit up.
Let's save it
about the live show. Next show. You got to come out to the next show and see it.
Come to the next show.
Box.
Your turn.
Me. Yeah, me.
Your turn.
Box office hit Sinners broke the all-time Oscar nomination record with an amazing 16 nominations, causing Variety to respond, but is that really a lot? Fucking Variety.
I like this one. Ryan Wedding, a Canadian snowboarder and former Olympian, has finally been arrested for allegedly trafficking, quote, multi-ton quantities of cocaine from Colombia to Canada. Guess he couldn't get off that white stuff.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah.
Cocaine. It's not Chicago comedy with that little cocaine.
But it Well, you're from the cocaine era of comedy.
I am from the scene 15 to 18 years ago.
When I showed up, it was all weed and beer and my lord.
Sure. I miss you, Rob Belushi. Go ahead.
Oh.
Sorry.
Ooh, Nike has unveiled a new LeBron James MLK colorway inspired by the Lorraine Motel, the site of the civil rights activist's death. Not to be outdone, Reebok has partnered with Erica Kirk to release a shoe in the same colors as Utah State University. That's my favorite joke.
I'm happy that I helped write the punchline for that.
Oh, for sure.
It shows I can still go hard.
Yeah.
I love getting hard.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
Yep.
All right. This past week at Davos, the only man nobody wanted there, Donald Trump, and more than 20 countries signed the charter for his newly announced Board of Peace. Trump, inspired by his hero, Austin Powers' nemesis, Dr. Evil, is charging each member $1 billion. Because that joke's still good.
Yeah, it's still
Still good.
And if you didn't get it, go watch Austin Powers. Great movie that still holds up.
Maybe.
Hungarian dictator and man who is bored with peace, Viktor Orban was the only European leader to join the totally not axis of evil. His reason? He was a Hungary for more authoritarianism.
Nailed that word.
I've been practicing,
That was
Nick.
good.
I practiced that word. It's one of those things you read in your head and you don't say out loud. Donald Trump, being the savvy developer he is, had several sites in mind for his disturbance of the peace headquarters, including Mordor, the Death Star, and Gary, Indiana.
Burn on Gary.
If you've never been to Gary, Indiana, don't.
I don't want to. I feel bad ragging on literally anyone right now.
Not Gary, Indiana.
All right. All right. Last joke here. Canadian Prime Minister and Tim Hortons gold card holder Mark Carney elicited the rage of America's Der Führer by roundly condemning the coercion of great powers on small countries, to which Trump responded, "A nerd." And EJ requested that I do the nerd line in a Donald Trump voice, and I think it played better.
I think so, too.
I think it played better.
And those are the jokes.
Those are the jokes.
We
All
hope
right.
that brought you some laughter and some little bit of lightness in all of this dark shit. But
I want to thank everybody who watched this. We're going to do stuff more like this throughout the week. So what you're seeing right now, you'll probably see more of like sprinkled throughout the week on all of our social media channels. We're blowing up on Instagram. Some of the stuff that Kat said about ICE and America as a whole has done huge numbers. We have more than 100,000 video impressions just on Instagram alone. So if you want to follow us for headlines, for any of the quotes from the show, clips from the show, more content like this, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on Blue Sky. But, of course, the two most important places to find us, to follow us, support us, our podcast feed. So go find us on any major podcast platform, and our YouTube channel. Go subscribe there. Those are our money makers, and that's where we're going to be putting all the content. And we encourage you to leave reviews, comments, 5-star ratings. All of that stuff helps shoot us up the charts and makes Guerrilla Press a more meaningful organization.
yeah, so if you want to be a part of the hundreds of thousands already watching our stuff, join in. Let's make it millions.
Yeah, everybody. Well, that's all we have here for today. This Sunday, once again, the Annoyance Theater, 7 p.m. You go buy tickets at www.theannoyance.com. You're going to find us talking all about the situation in Minneapolis and how we as Chicagoans are going to be able to combat what we're seeing as an imminent invasion with 44th Ward Alderman Bennett Lawson. So this is somebody that's in your community that is going to be talking directly to you about what to expect and how we can all be fighting back. And then at the end of the night, we have a fun little bit planned. And our good friend and friend of the show, Ross W. Berman, IV, is going to be performing some folk music. He's a regular at the Green Mills Paper Machete. If you've ever followed any of my pro wrestling career, no doubt you are familiar with Ross and I's relationship. So come on back. Again, Sunday, 7 p.m., the Annoyance Theater. We're going to have a big show, and we will have Indivisible Chicago there and maybe another organization as well that we'll announce this week.
Hell yeah. Sounding good. Yeah, I'm hoping to see y'all there, man. I miss y'all.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. We don't do we have a sign-off?
No, let's find one now.
Okay. This has been Guerrilla Press. Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Bye.
Bye, everybody. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.